Our buddy TJ Miller's back in town at the Funny Bone, columbus.funnybone.com, and we just sold out the first two shows, Jerry, just in the first 2 minutes.
He is the man.
Yeah, Saturday late show, we have tickets. TJ, what's going on, man?
Hello, TJ.
It's Torg Elliott in the morning. Guys, how are you?
Good.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for selling out those two shows in just this minute or two.
That's how good we are.
You send hot sauce and peanut butter, we'll do pretty much anything.
I mean, and people say, together? And I go, no, not together.
Not together.
Although you can do that manually if you want. But, yeah, man, I mean, I'm selling peanut butter, I'm selling hot sauce, and I'm slinging jokes. I mean, I'm living it.
You're an
living the peanut butter hot sauce dream.
That toffee crunch peanut butter, how stoned were you when you came up with that concoction? That is wonderful.
Not as stoned as I am now. But I will tell you, I've always been a lifelong peanut butter fan. Here's how much I love peanut butter. Last night, what I ate sort of in the evening was a peanut butter concoction with Smooth Peanut Butter, which is also the name of my my album, which is on Sirius XM right now. Smooth Peanut Butter, check it out. And last night I had Smooth Peanut Butter with pistachios and tortilla chips mixed in. Yes, I was high for that part of the writing process.
Wow, that's yeah.
But I'm up here, and I want to say this sadly, and this is really kind of an exclusive on Torg and Elliott.
Okay.
I am sadly a vegan for another 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Being a vegan for 5 weeks because I thought it was the funniest amount of time to be a vegan. My wife Kate and I did a cleanse the first 2 weeks, a vegan cleanse, and then a detox.
Right.
And I thought it would be funny to keep doing it because I want to be the most annoying person at every party that I go to.
Yeah, keep mentioning it. It's like my wife's diet right now. I've heard like 80 times a day how many pounds she's lost. It's like, I get it.
It's that, and then is she doing like a weird plant-based thing, or what is she
It's
doing?
like keto, and yeah, it's just like has to shop separately and let everybody know about it, and I hope she's not up listening. Yeah.
And I do the cleanse every year to start the year, every January, 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, it's good. Did you feel better when you were done?
Yeah, how was your craps?
I sent you that. I sent you peanut butter, hot sauce, and a poop in the box.
Poop in the box.
It's that Timberlake skit you did on SNL.
It's a Vermont poop in the box.
Yes.
It's a Vermont version of poop in the box. No, I know exactly what you're saying about your wife and talking about it. Here's my impression of all vegan. You ready?
All right,
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't eat that. I'm sorry. I can't eat that. Does that have dairy in it? I can't eat that.
I can't eat that.
That's what I'm doing. But yeah, the keto of it and all that stuff. People, the reason you can't stop talking about it is because it is so hard, and the reason it's so hard is because you can't eat that. Anything that humans eat, you can't eat that. So what you never think about is if you're vegetarian, everything has cheese on it. Cheese is by far the most important thing, and eggs, also eggs, and vegans can't eat that. And so you're just sort of left like a squirrel, like eating nuts and berries and just things that a little tiny rodent would be going after.
I don't want to live like that.
No, I don't want to live like that either. But what's funny, and I realize this, and I wouldn't have if I wasn't being a vegan for 5 weeks, which is the funniest amount of time to be a vegan, in my opinion, because if you say a month, it's too pretentious. 3 weeks, people are like, well, I can do 2 weeks. But 5 weeks is commitment, but you're not going to do it for the rest of your life. And the thing that I found out was vegans don't care about annoying you or talking about it all the time because you're a monster. You're a murderer of animals. You're the worst person on the face of the planet. And so you're killing these sweet, sweet little ducks and rabbits. And so they don't care. If you're annoyed because they mention all the time, it's like, yeah, well, you deserve it. You know what I mean? I'm the champion of it. So it's been fascinating to sort of do it and try. And so, of course, I've written so much material on it.
Sure.
Nice.
It's not going to be the majority of it, but I'm going to talk about it a fair amount on stage. And so it's been very, very funny. And, yeah, that's you said that, I think, Elliot, like, you do this cleanse for 2 weeks at the beginning of January, and you feel great, right?
Yeah.
And your poops, it sounds like you like to talk about your poops and your craps, okay?
Yeah.
I think that's important. But what I think is so funny is my wife is like, dude, Kate is like, oh, my God. She's so funny. She's like, bro, I feel so good. I have not felt better. Look at my skin. Looks great. It looks better than it ever has. I have energy. I feel focused. I feel light. I have no inflammation. And you guys, I'm here to tell you that I feel the same as I did before. Nothing has changed. Absolutely no positive effects. The only thing is I'm less happy, and I have these really weird cravings for protein. And that's why I'm eating peanut butter soup like a weirdo, like a cockney boy who can't get any porridge. I mean, it really is ridiculous.
So in 2 weeks, do you have a ribeye planned? In 2 weeks, you're going to have a big old steak on day one? Because then you will feel that.
Yeah, you will. And that's the thing. I think that's kind of why we thought, let's keep going. Because after the cleanse, you're supposed to ease into other foods. So for a couple of days, you're supposed to eat kind of vegan and then maybe have some cheese or something. And we kind of did another day of veganism, then another day. And then we were kind of like, should we just keep going? We both sort of decided on our own kind of. But I'm really worried. I don't think she will, but I'm worried that she might become a vegan. That's grounds for divorce.
Absolutely.
She's already pescatarian.
Yeah.
She's a pescatarian. So I can't even have a steak with her. But if she can't have sushi with me, truly, like, what are we supposed to do? She just stares at me while I eat meat and fish and stuff, and then doesn't eat cheese. It doesn't make any sense. Because we didn't drink for like 22 days. And I got to tell you guys, I've never done like dry January, but I got to tell you guys that I didn't miss the alcohol. I don't miss the meat, really. It's the cheese. I miss the cheese.
Just the cheese. Hey, Columbus.
Isn't that weird?
You're going to be hiding cheese in the garage.
Yeah, in your pockets.
I've already got little blocks of cheese hidden all over the house.
Columbus.funnybone.com. Saturday night show, 471 joke. Hey, by the way, TJ, I do have
lying about it. No, I'm not eating cheese. Right.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing up on the roof, TJ? No cheese.
Yeah.
What?
Let me smell your breath.
I'm not doing anything. Did you just say no cheese? No cheese. I'll be up there just gnawing on a full block. I got a cheese wheel. As soon as she leaves the house, I just wheel it on into the living room and just grab.
Well, you come by it honestly. Your dad was a cheese eater. Grandpa was a cheese. It's in your genes.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this. I come from a long line of cheesemongers.
Yes.
So it's really hard for me to give it up because it's in our blood. Literally, we all have high cholesterol. It's in our blood.
And you can quit anytime.
Anytime.
Yeah, anytime.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? To prove it, I'm going to have more cheese. I'll quit when I want to,
Hey, TJ, did you see the video last week of the people jumping on stage when Mark Norman was performing? Did you see that crap? Have you had anything like that happen?
So somebody showed me the video yesterday, and I actually did a show with Mark last night. And it's hilarious because I forgot to mention it, and I'm sure he was like, something about him makes me like, dude, aren't you going to ask me about this crazy thing that happened to me? But he and I are the same. We're going a mile a minute, trying to do 4 sets every single night, 5 sets. And as the guy does a lot of shows. But yeah, that I sort of went viral. But what I thought is when they showed it to me, it wasn't like I've had a guy get on stage and try and fight me once in Atlanta, Georgia.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, and then it's on my YouTube channel. I had the weirdest experience where I did the.
Someone ate cheese on stage with you.
Oh my God!
They bought you cheese.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If I get a little bit of that cheese, I don't care. They can stay on stage. In fact, if it's a big enough cheese block, they stay on stage. I get down and sit down and say, "Bring me a napkin. Bring me a napkin and a fork. It's cheese time." Yeah, so I had someone at the comic strip in Upper East Side Club in Manhattan, and this guy kept heckling. And then I was like, where are you from? Just trying to, because he was foreign. And he goes, I'm from Ukraine. And this was like right when the war had sort of sped up and got going. And I was like, oh, really? And I went to respond. He goes, no, I'm from Russia. And I was like, wow, you're the worst person ever, maybe? And then, right, that you're, like, making fun of me. And so then he got on – we didn't get on stage. He walked to the front of the house. His poor Ukrainian, mail-order bride was just so embarrassed. But he walked up to the front of the stage, and he was like, I'm Russian. Look at me, everyone. I'm Russian. Look, I'm Russian, man. And it was, he was drunk, but it wasn't really making – so I just kept sort of doing my act, but incorporating how bizarre it was to have this guy standing up right in front of me. And
yeah.
And, the people tried to – people meaning staff. The staff came over and said, you've got to go. But they're not – what are they going to forcibly eject him? He looked like a Russian guy, squat and short and built like a brick house. And so they called the cops, and the cops came and had to make him leave. And I was just on stage the whole time kind of continuing. I have video of it on my YouTube channel, my other specials and stuff. But it was just, that stuff happens. It's like you hope it never happens, but it happens. I think it's funny that with Mark Norman, he's sort of like...
He invites it a little bit.
Do you think so? Because I figured that he's the guy, in my opinion, who would be like, you're ruining my show. Like, I worked really hard on these jokes. Like, why are you interrupting him?
He kind of kept the show going.
He gives the floor to the audience, though, for that Q&A section, and I think people get the impression that it's okay to just yell and...
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right about that. But he doesn't – the Q&A is not so that people will come on stage or interrupt.
Yes. No, you're right.
But, yeah, but you're right. He's messing with the audience a little bit, and he's an improviser with the Q&A section. But, yeah, it's very I don't know. It's really funny, like, that it would happen to him. Like, you would think that it would happen to, like, me or other people that are just constantly, like Sam Morril or something, or Big J. Okerson. But that it happened to him is actually really funny, in my opinion.
Hey.
But it's kind of he's sort of he's one of the top players in the game. He's really, really good.
Yeah, he's a great comedian. Now, you started in Denver. Did you read Sam Tallent's book? Boy, he's a funny guy.
He's such a funny guy. I haven't read the book yet, but I have read another comic, Adam Caton-Holland, did a book, Adam Caton-Holland. And he did a book about his sister who committed suicide. And it's sort of a book about being a comedian and dealing with that and sort of his friendship with his sister. And I heard that Sam Tallent's book is, like, exceptional as well.
It's all Denver in the early days. You'll be able to relate to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then, born in Denver, and I'm a Chicago comic. So I did a lot of work in Chicago with Second City and all that kind of stuff, which kind of led to film and television. So it was sort of a multi-step process for sure. But I'm excited. I love working the clubs. And I sort of do – my whole show, it's not a Q&A, but my whole show is sort of about the audience and my time wherever I am and what happened that day. And so it's all very improvised, and you're never going to see the same show twice. I have a lot of people come to 2 shows in a weekend.
Give us a shout-out.
Different.
My buddy's a comedian, and he gave us a shout-out, and he got laid that night. So, not that you would, you're married, but I mean, people
maybe,
like us.
No, I mean, listen,
maybe you could get cheese.
I haven't met the guy.
Yeah.
I haven't met the guy. So
yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe he and I would get together.
Yeah, or cheese. Well, yeah.
I would love to get some cheese out of this weekend.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
So, TJ, thanks so much. And
Don't
want to say,
tell my wife.
We
You
won't.
got
We
it.
won't.
You got it.
Don't tell my wife.
What happens in Columbus stays in Columbus.
Thanks, TJ.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
All right. See you this weekend. Bye.